Welcome to the Pittsburgh Business Report. I'm Donna Kline. Today we're going to talk about the future of family farming in the Pittsburgh area. And to help us discuss this, we have Mike Reilly with us of Reilly Summer Seat Farm. Thank you very much for joining us.
I'm glad to come.
Yeah, and I got an email from you not too long ago with the frost warning, so thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
You've been using email for a while to help communicate?
We've been using an email type newsletter for probably the last 2 years.
Yeah. Does that help with your client base in terms of keeping in contact, obviously?
It does. It's very immediate. So just like this frost warning, we can do it if it's needed right away. And depending on an activity that happens or a promotion or something, we can do that really quick too. And it's inexpensive. Right. As compared to our newsletters, when we have a written newsletter, a mail-out newsletter, and we do that normally about once a month, and that is terribly expensive. But the e-news, which we have, works much better.
You mentioned you have about 82 acres right now. Is that all being farmed?
No, probably half of it's woods.
Oh, okay.
Being here in Pittsburgh with all the hills and so forth, you know, you have the tops of the hills and the valleys, but everything in between is woods and not usable. And so that's what we have.
And what are you growing right now, or year-round?
Well, we have a garden center, of course, but then we also raise blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. The raspberries both red and black. And we have a big pumpkin season. So during October, we have a lot of people coming out and taking them out to the fields and wagons to pick their own.
And when did you start all of this, just really bringing the public in and education? And
right from the start, as a matter of fact. When I retired from the military, in trying to figure out what we wanted to do, my father only had 37 acres. So we had to do something that we could get a lot of income off of a small acreage, and that's why we started small fruit. A lot of things have developed since then, but that's where it started. And one of the first meetings we went with the Strawberry Growers Association, we had some guy talking about pumpkins and what he has done with you-pick pumpkins, and that really started it. Yeah. So even with the fruit, it's all picked by people that just come and pick their own. But once we got into the pumpkin picking and the school field trips from that, that's where it really took a new life, and we really expanded greatly into folks coming to the farm for entertainment and vegetables. And
now, was the nursery immediate as well, or did you add that later?
No, as a matter of fact, the nursery, we planted some we built some greenhouses because we wanted to grow hydroponic vegetables as part of the whole farm thing. But the more we worked, the harder it got, and the production was poor. And every year we grew more and more flowers and less vegetables, until after a few years there was no vegetables and it was all just flowers and plants, and the garden center developed from there.
And would you say that's more successful, or is the produce?
Probably the garden center is 2/3 of our income, and the farm the other third.
But it helps bring people, and I'm sure they do some shopping once they're there.
It is critical. We would not be able to be here or continue if it wasn't for the entertainment farming portion of the operation. Absolutely.
And it's really fun for a lot of people, and you're really, you know, your type of industry is becoming more and more narrow. There's fewer places for people to go to have that kind of fun. Do you ever get any pressure? I mean, there's a lot of development in the area. How many times do you get phone calls from people wanting to buy your land?
Not many.
Really?
No, I think that when it's a viable business and people can see that it's going on and a lot of people are coming, they don't seem to bother you. Okay. But if it was nothing happening or it was just bare land, I think it would be totally different.
In terms of doing well, you say everybody picks their own vegetables? I mean fruits, excuse me, like the blackberries and strawberries?
Mostly. We do pick some, but mostly it's picked by the customer that comes.
And then otherwise, do you sell it on site, or do you ship some out?
No, nothing is sold off the farm. We do nothing wholesale.
So your labor costs are pretty low, would you say, or
labor costs are never low?
Yeah, is that your highest?
Normally, that's probably the highest cost there is.
Really?
So it's not only the labor, but it's the unemployment compensation and the workers' comp and everything else, Social Security, everything on top of that. It really is a big expense.
What do you do during the snowy winter?
Well, we are in operation right up through Christmas. We sell Christmas trees and wreaths and all that type of thing.
True.
We close on the 25th, and we're closing on the 25th, and we don't open up until the last weekend of March.
Well, Mike, thanks very much for being here and sharing all the inside information of Reilly Summer Seat Farm.
You're quite welcome.
And that's been the Pittsburgh Business Report for today. If you want to learn more about the future of family farming, go to our Facebook fan page at the Pittsburgh Business Report. Thanks for watching. For more information on our guests or upcoming shows, search for the Pittsburgh Business Report online at YouTube or Facebook.